My name is Ken Gompert. I'm broadcasting from Arizona. And as part of the requirements for a video thread for HIUS 510, my subject tonight will be a comparison, contrast of two different schools of historical thought regarding the Middle Colonies. One is called Declension, the other one is called developmental. Declension, as defined by historians Jack Green and Douglas Greenberg, is the emergence of a society that starts out in a unified base and diversifies over time. It can be in religion, government, economic. And the argument was it was like a contrast between the New England colonies and the middle colonies during this time period. Jack Green defined both definition or both terms quite accurately. He said declension was a society that started out and over time diversified, and using New England as an example, they had a strong religious base among the Pilgrims, and the Puritans came over in 1630, and the emphasis went from religion initially to more of an economic and diversified economy, whereas in Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, both Greenberg and Green stated that they would argue that that area was more developmental because the emphasis was not on so much a unifying core of people and beliefs, but it was more survival. It was a patchwork of quilts, to quote one of our recent videos in the course. And it went from social history used to have a thing called from the bottom up. Both historians, in particular Greenberg, said that Massachusetts history, New England history, was more like from the top down, because they started out of a singular mind, the churches split, they became more diversified, and they became more and more like other colonies around them. Virginia, on the other hand, started out as a scrabble, a mixed scrabble of different religious denominations, the Quakers, the Anglicans, the Presbyterians, and people that didn't believe in anything at all, atheists. And the main emphasis in the middle colonies, and Greenberg brought this out the best, was that it was more on economics. They were trying to find a return for the investments made into the colonies. People were not interested so much in religion as a means to an end, or as an end in itself, but a means to an end. The middle colonies were characterized by a lot of indentured servants in the north part of the colony area and slavery in the south. And this just made no comparison, with the idea of a declension. I would say of the two historians, both agreed that the middle colonies were developmental. And I would contest that. I mean, I wouldn't contest that. I used a conflict consensus approach, like a framework, to make I think historians are often guilty. They'll cover both sides of an argument, but they won't make any statement themselves. And I compared the two in my abstract, and I found that Greenberg's was actually the better of the two arguments, because he agreed with Jack Green, whose book was quite well written. But what Greenberg did that Green did not, he took it beyond the middle colonies, and he compared what a declension area would be like versus what they were. And so both historians agreed that it was a developmental area in the middle colonies, but Greenberg gave more examples to substantiate his arguments. And my own conclusion in the end was that if I had the two of them, I would go with Greenberg every time, because he was more thorough in his detail, he gave more examples, and his writing style was better. So thank you, and have a good night.